We have Chile, Moldova, China. It's not the Olympic gold medalist Chinese team, the independent nations, Cuba, Spain, and Poland in this race. The women's C2 500, of course, been at 2 Olympics now, and really since even since Tokyo, the competition has grown so much stronger. The depth is so much better now than it was, and this has really taken off now because it was finally introduced to the Olympic program, women's canoeing. And really, look at this. This is a really strong performance here. I think it's by the Spaniards who are going out really strong. Moreno and Yarchevska in lane number 7. So first straight through to the final, and boats 2 to 7 through to the semi-final, and the rest will be out. But at least looks like the Spaniards are going out pretty hard. They don't want to leave anything to chance in this race.
I know their country mates from the race before have warmed up the lanes for them, and they're obviously just wanting to replicate what the K4 did in the race before. So they've just gone through the 250 in a 55.35. Looks like a couple of seconds, or just shy of a couple of seconds, in front of the independent nations and the Chinese paddlers. What I love seeing in the C2, particularly in the women, is the different techniques and race plans. A lot of, or some boats will have a lot more of a long lopey stroke, a lot lower stroke rate, and others, we see Spain on the screen there, but I think the Chinese crew, they sit a lot more upright and have a lot more of a shorter stroke and a higher stroke rate. So it's really interesting to see that. And as well, some boats, they'll be paddling on the same side, some will be on opposite sides, so that can affect your steering as well. But obviously they're the Spanish crew, looking really strong coming into this last 100 meters. I can't see anyone taking the win away from them. The first go straight through to the final, like in the K4s earlier, and they're going to dig deep and take this win. That's for sure.
Yep, easy win there for the Spaniards ahead of the Moldovans. I mean, we talked about the depth in China in women's canoe, but just right across the board, men's and women's canoe. In Spain, it is quite incredible, the depth there. And I remember in the lead up to Paris just how hotly contested those qualification races were. And really, in the end, the Spanish could have taken any of 3 or 4 crews to Paris and come home potentially with a medal. So they really have incredible depth in Spain. But look at that, Moreno and Yarchevska going out pretty hard there for the Spaniards. They led from the start. It was the Moldovans, Daniela Couture and Maria Olarusu, who I think finished in second. So a good result for them as well. But it will be the Spaniards who will go straight through to the final of the women's C2 500 as we get this competition underway. Still pretty good conditions out there. If you're just joining us, there is a little bit of a tailwind, or there certainly was at the start of the morning. And very cold though. You're probably looking at the athletes and thinking, gee, they look rugged up. They are rugged up because it was 11 degrees when racing started this morning. That's the old Celsius, 11 degrees Celsius. So pretty cool for a lot of these paddlers. But they're looking like they're enjoying themselves, and the Spaniards looking pretty happy with themselves, at least getting that early race out of the way.
They certainly do look very happy with themselves. I mean, you often get a cough when it's a little bit cold. The air kind of dries out your throat a little bit through the race, particularly when you're pushing so hard.